Yes. 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 The books look great in the background. That's a good background.
There's been many disasters.
Yeah, no, this has been a definitely an evolving setup. We had our second shelf go down the other day, uh, so I'm gonna have to really have a think about what to do with the comic books. They are too heavy.
Maybe you should just buy one higher quality bookshelf that those can live on, and that can be the comic book
Comic
shelf.
book shelf.
Yeah.
True. These folding ones are so nice for delivery, though.
It's true. Maybe you can be strategic about it. Oh, are you gonna join me on the couch?
Mm.
What's the news?
Let's see.
What's the news, big dog? Hmm? He's
Look at
can't
that skinny boy.
when I come up from work, I come up the stairs and I come into my room, I just see his silhouette. It just looks so goofy, especially when he has his like ears kind of flopped up at attention. I'm like, what? Who let this Muppet into my room?
He does not look like a real animal a little bit.
No, he looks like one of those little worm meme guys.
Is this what I want?
But you're oh so sweet.
Is this what I want?
Hey, did you send me my stuff in an email or was it in
I
a
attached it to the Discord conversation.
ah? I think I must not have seen that after we hung up.
Yes, it should be at the bottom. Let me know if it is not. I can resend it. Yeah, cool. Okay, I think all is set.
Okay, that's not it.
Yes.
Good boy. Very good.
And then for intro questions, this
Are we
time,
doing the dice rolling thing?
yeah, just sort of a random ask each other a question about your character or an NPC if you get Gabe.
And how
We
do we
can.
determine this? Is it like a
How do we
we
determine this? Let's see.
we each pick a number or what's what?
I want to
Randomly.
pick mine to Haribo.
Oh yeah.
There you go. That starts us off.
Oh, we can just decide.
Oh
I did.
Okay.
I
Okay.
guess it is. We just make it up. We do what we want.
Sure. Okay. Did you fix whatever you were fixing up?
Hmm? Oh, I was trying to get the camera to do the follow my face thing again, but I couldn't figure it out.
I recommend for especially if you're like up and mobile again to just whenever you're doing like more important moments, make sure that you are reminding yourself to direct towards the microphone because if you're a little, a few steps away, it's going to sound like you're a few steps away.
But that also could be fun for
Yeah, if you can utilize that, hell yeah. It does actually work. Like if you're right up on it, it does sound like you're close to my ear. And if you're a few steps away, it does sound like you're, back in the office.
Okay. Let's do one of those.
And all I really have to do is just like I can like level that up to make it sound even more if you utilize it, but for the general, we want you a little closer sounding.
Okay. How does this sound?
That sounds good.
good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Then we'll roll with this.
Turn you down a little bit on my end. Okay. All right. Okay. Everyone else ready before I kick off? Just make sure
Mm-hmm.
we got everyone voices working. Mike, Lawrence. I just want to double check.
Yep,
Hello.
I'm ready.
Sick. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice: A Wider World. This season, a D&D podcast about 4 wayward adventurers out to rescue some goblins and figure out what's wrong with Wilhelm's hole. I'm Im, and I play Haribo Tamagotchi, changeling artificer not of this world. Currently, he's half-elf Haribo. And our questions of the week this week is we're picking a character and asking them a question to help figure some stuff out or answer a question we've always wanted answered. And mine's for Grace about Marjorie. I guess it would be about Marjorie.
Okay.
Tell me a time that Marjorie chose to make an evil, she took an evil action, and how did that make her feel? Has that what's the most evil thing that Marjorie has really executed upon?
Okay, well, this is actually something I remember writing down in my first draft of my character background, because I didn't know we were supposed to be doing those sorts of things. But in my head, because I didn't really know how any of the necromancy stuff worked, I was like, I'm just gonna make it up of how I think it would go. Here, use that as spell. Is that part of what Zogmoth is the way that she earned her, what is it called? Is it called a totem? Is that what it's called? The thing that gives me my magic powers?
Oh, your cleric
channel it
spellcasting
through.
focus thing.
Yeah, my focus. I don't know. Yeah, totem focus. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Totem works.
It is a baby gator skull, and Zogmoth had said you're gonna go earn your totem, and you'll know what it is. It has to be a living thing, but you'll know it. You'll know what is right for you. And so she went off on her. I went off on my journey, in the woods, just trying to figure out what Velsharoon is gonna lead me to. And I heard that if you know nature stuff, I guess Gabe and I might know. Just a baby gator sound or crocodile sound is very distinct. At least I think it is.
It has a sound, yeah.
Oh, it is very distinct for sure.
And so I followed the sound and killed the baby gator, which I think, in Marta's opinion, I think she thinks that's the most evil thing she's ever done.
Can I just interject really quick?
Yeah.
Because I believe I've asked a version of this question before.
And I did kill
And
Carmen.
the answer that you gave was that
You
you
killed a kid.
lured a kid into the woods to their death.
But what's worse than that? Killing a crocodile.
Yeah, but the baby
one.
crocodile though is worse. She worse that she locked it away and doesn't generally think about it until the right moment comes up, I guess. Until she's asked twice.
And that's on having a bad memory.
No, when you were starting to talk about that, I was like, wait a second, have we talked about this? But then you said something about a gator, and I was like, doesn't sound familiar. Well, more
That's
evil
funny.
stuff from Marjorie. Children and baby gators.
I think that was the first. Maybe the gator was the first draft, and I was like, not evil enough. I killed a kid, and got all diehard on it. But thank you, Gabe.
What does that mean?
That's a line from Die Hard. I killed a kid.
I killed a kid. The guy it's the cop, Ralph, or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah.
Carl. I don't know.
Ralph, Carl, whatever.
Randy, I don't know what his name is.
Speaking of Ralph Carl, I have a name, and my name is Lawrence, and I play the gelatinous bard Sparklonius. My question this week is for M's character Haribo, and what I would like to know is, what's Haribo's greatest weakness? No reason.
No reason? You can't. That's a wild thing to follow up with. No reason. I've had this strange suspicion about Sparklonius for a while. I'm going to keep it to myself, but know that I have suspicions about you. This question does not help them, I will say.
This is a Lawrence question, not a Sparklonius question.
Sure, I bet it is. I bet it is. That's how I would hide it, too. Biggest weakness? I don't know, man. Something about me wanted to say chocolate, but that feels like I don't know. Are we talking like are we talking like the way to like, oh, I'm weak for chocolate, or are we talking like my ankles are bad,
You could take the question as you please.
Okay. Then Haribo's biggest weakness is that, I mean, maybe you can help me come up with a word for it, but I feel like it is that he has spent, like, whatever the concept is of him having spent so long here and still not believing in magic, it sort of seems defiantly against all evidence presented. I don't know what that would like be called, but that feels like when he's made up his mind about something, it is like,
Stubborn.
yeah, maybe that is it.
I think
Maybe
that's
that's
what it
just
is.
no, yeah. My brain wanted it to be more like complex, but maybe it just is that he's stubborn. Like his biggest weakness is that he is unable to get past some of the things that, yeah, once he makes up his mind, he just doesn't want to change
Once
it.
he makes a decision, he sticks with it.
Yeah,
Some people will respect that.
Could. I mean, it's good for some of the things. It's just bad until, it's bad when it reaches the point where he's been here for 2 years and is just finally realizing that like life is cool around him. He was just too annoying to admit it. But he's not there yet. We'll see.
Right. And I am Michael, and I play the dwarven fighter Thaddeus Offgood. And my question is for Gib.
Oh no!
And
All right.
did Gib have any life plans that he will not get to now that he has become a servant of Zogmoth?
Oh, that's a good question. Huh.
That's so sad.
That's such a good question.
What was Gibbs' whole deal before the party in the pit?
Well, he set up the pit with his friends or his brothers, family.
Yeah, probably siblings of some sort.
But like, what was his dream? Did he want to become, like, that's such a fun question. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay. I think Gabe was probably at least a little bit ambitious, so I think perhaps his goal was to be like dragon blessed, because like that was a thing that was happening in his tribe at that moment, was that Atric was right. Is that the right name? Probably.
Yeah.
Atric.
Patrick,
The
for sure.
other the kobold who had already been dragon blessed had rolled in, or perhaps the dragon had rolled in. I haven't really nailed down exactly the timeline of the dragon and the kobolds in all of this, because we haven't really dealt with the dragon at all, who's the real mover and shaker in that relationship.
I realized I was so focused on my fries that I didn't take my turn, and I'm sorry about that.
Mike, usually Mike has to go after Grace, which
Well, and
it's
yeah,
tough.
and I remember Grace talking earlier, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, there's silence. I should go.
No, that's so funny. I
No,
love that. I
that's
love that.
me.
It took me a minute to also realize.
I was eating my fries, but 3 is me. Okay.
Now you have to
Hi.
follow Mike for once.
I know. How the turntables. Hi, my name is Grace Stringer, and I play our cleric, Marjorie Ridgeback, an semi-evil necromancer. And my question is for Thaddeus, and it is, what is your biggest regret about our adventure so far? Like, looking back, you're like, oh, man.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yes, thank you.
Wow.
Asking
That
the
takes
spicy
us
ones.
back.
I'm sorry. I'm evil.
How the turns have tabled.
I'm stirring the pot. This is her actual evilness. It's just bitchy side comments and sowing doubt.
It means I have to ask Sparkalonius a question. Okay.
I don't know that he has any massive regrets thus far. I don't think he's, wantonly killed anybody that didn't need killing that would fall outside of his paradigm. I think he's still mildly embarrassed about having fallen in the pit early on. I think he also has regrets about when we were at the dig-ins that he turfed it so badly that he missed like 80% of the battle. So for Thaddeus's mentality as a soldier and the protector, anytime he sort of falls down in those capacities are his biggest regrets, because that's the reason he was sent on the adventure in the first place. And when he falls short on that, it does eat at him a little bit.
I sort of want to push that question further though, because like biggest regrets could also, we did literally kidnap Gib and then revive him to make him totally ours. But the
Well,
party,
totally one of ours.
How
the
many of us
party,
know though that he has been killed and revived, like to the T, died and revived? Because like
that's
I
true.
don't know that we
I don't
really
know
broke
that
it down when he was quote unquote.
I don't think
dead.
Marjorie explained that ever.
Nope.
Yeah,
Now I gotta explain
and
myself to you.
I don't know that those are his
But-
regrets, but he definitely has concerns about some of Marjorie's behavior that he may not have called her out on. Like when he was holding, was it Atric? And she came up and slit his throat
No,
while
it's
he
just a
was
random.
still.
It was just a
So
random
the-
kobold.
but
Oh, that was
yeah.
just
Just
a
a
random kobold.
nobody.
Yeah. But he was sort of taken aback, and he feels bad that he didn't say something about that and address that sort of behavior in the party at that
Interesting.
time.
The thrust of what I was asking though was because the party sort of kidnapped Thaddeus also, and I would be sort of curious what Thaddeus's ambitions were before he was hijacked into our shenanigans.
Well,
My question has
yeah.
to be for Sparkalonius.
I don't think one your question. I mean, it has to, but he deserves
No,
one
I
too. But I
for
will say
the
that
for the
last
verisimilitude of it.
Sure. Last
want to.
episode though, Mike did say we talked about like what our goals were, I guess, and Mike said that Thaddeus's goals were to become like a lord of a little hold, similar to Lord Thorn.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to
Yep.
like run a hold, and like
Interesting.
have the good life where people are working for him, much like he works for Thorn. Also, technically, Thaddeus is working right now. We did not kidnap him. He got
He's
got
working
assigned,
Thaddeus is on the clock,
overtime.
and the
surely.
job is still going on. It's the same job,
Overtime. Wow.
just part 2 of the same job.
Suppose Thaddeus is probably salaried.
The podcast is just called Thaddeus is the longest day of work ever.
Mike actually hasn't been keeping up with his cash because he knows he has salary money coming in when Thaddeus gets home.
That's right. That's right.
He's like 40 gold. Yeah.
Whatever.
That's nothing.
Okay. Okay, Sparkalonius, I have a pre-question and then a question.
But who are you? Though?
I'm Sparkalonius, but who are you?
Got me. I'm Theodore Stringer, the game master and player. I play the world, the rocks and the dirt, all the way up to the gods themselves. That's me. And I have questions for Sparkalonius. Sparkalonius, you have done concerts before the Sundown Showdown Part 2, right? You did a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
them.
we did a tour.
Right? A good number.
The previous tour.
Previous tour. What is the worst? The like how bad has it gotten? Has it always been good times and parties, or have you bombed?
I think the first like 18 concerts were all pretty bad.
Okay. Any standouts? Tell me a bad concert
I
story.
think probably the number one was we played this bar, and for some reason they just didn't like the look of me. Immediately they were unhappy with the whole vibe I was bringing. Maybe it's the experimental nature of the Sparkleonius solo shows that was the problem, but
Not fans of jazz.
How'd it go? How'd it
yeah,
end?
they wanted the
Did they kick
classics,
you
and
out?
Sparkleonius didn't know any of the classics. I think it was probably the show that, yeah, we probably got kicked out by the end of that one. Barson also wasn't doing a great job that show. And, by the end, Drunk Barson and Sparkleonius got kicked out, and that probably was the show that got Sparkleonius to learn the classics. That's whenever he really gained respect for the classics, and, it's good to be a well-rounded bard, I think.
Okay. Neat. Okay. So, when last we played, we fought some spiders. We got some various spider bits that may or may not be interesting. And we journeyed to within sight of the fort built into the mountain. But that's not where we're going to start, because earlier in our previous episode, Arbo got some noties.
756, if I recall, from
So many
Mike said.
noties.
756 noties. Surprise, this podcast, we're going to go through them all, one by one.
We did say we were doing
That's
a
all we're gonna
one-by-one
do.
notey show. No, JK.
No.
We'll get to 756 eventually.
So, let's see. Because at the end of the episode, I think, Haribo, you took some time to deal with your noties, and then were interrupted by Marjorie. But you were wearing your belt goggles, so I don't think Marjorie actually would have picked up or overheard any of your notey content.
I think the way I put it, because they're goggles and it's not like an earbud, I know that you've seen it, Gabe, and Lawrence probably too. If anyone has seen the VR headsets, how the speaker is next to your ear. If you're next to someone, you can hear, right? If you're listening close enough, you can kind of hear what is happening in that speaker. You can't hear the detail, the bass, and the birds in the background or whatever, but you could probably if you were listening hard enough, catch what is being said if you're close enough, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, Marjorie told me about the statue, and then we had a little chat about Gib and that we're gonna look into him, and then I went back to checking my noties. Yeah, through the evening.
Okay. So let's talk about the noties. A good chunk of them, because space stuff, we can definitely filter the type of notifications we're receiving. A good chunk of them are system messages. Can't connect to the Starways network, or whatever it is.
Heavy hit
Low.
from when I took the log shot,
missing.
Impact
detected. Low battery.
I would be
all sorts of
curious.
different
Are there
things.
any? I know that you're getting through them. I'm kind of also curious about how did my belt respond when I was in the Feywild? Did it change? It's that is definitely a section Harbo would have checked. Not to this derail.
That's a good question. I'll have to think about that.
Sure. There's a lot of noties to parse, of course.
There's a lot of noties to parse. And setting aside the gross majority of system notifications, there's a good number of notifications that are just messages for you, Ormo.
You up?
You up? I scroll through all of the you up. You want to watch a show? It's like 4 in the fucking morning.
I heard you got blown up. That true?
Heard you got blown up. You around?
You wanna
you
get
around
blowed
to
up,
blow
winky
these up?
face?
You want to get blown up, winky face? No
Oh my God.
response. Sorry, it must be true. Sad face with cry. Oh my
Oh
god.
goodness. But mostly the tricky thing about most of these notifications is that there is no text to them. It is just an audio attachment. And due to wherever you are and whatever has happened, your connection with the I
Server?
don't think that we've quite nailed it down what the
Network?
network is called.
Yeah.
But your connection to the galactic network is limited, and so it's going to take a hot moment for it to download and decrypt all of these files. But you do have the first one.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. And I think we have it prepared. The question I
do
am
also have it
curious
prepared.
about before we like fire that off. Does Marjorie hear this?
My thought about this was that I
Because
probably
it definitely
spent
occurred to me, like when I was doing the rewatch, it was like, oh shit, Marjorie snuck up on him here.
This is true. This is true. And the gray man was still smoking a cigarette, right? Like, if I recall during the re-listen, he rolled a cigarette and was still smoking it. If like in that moment I found the audio message, I'm not gonna listen to it yet because I'm aware of like even if I turn it down, like who knows? I'm gonna wait till I feel like I'm alone. So I feel like I spend a lot of the evening. I get enough rest or whatever, but I spend a lot of the evening going over these, and I think that I'd like to say it's in the early hours of the morning when I finally like convince myself to listen to it. So my question I think was probably like who thinks that they're waking up, you know. I don't know if by that point I'm worried about the volume because I think people are asleep, but you know, that would be my thought maybe.
That's also an interesting thought. I assume, Haribo, that you listen to this while you're on watch, like during your shift.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, on my end, at the very least, I'm going to have the NPCs roll for wakefulness. This will be a fairly difficult check for them, though. Yeah. Okay. I don't know
Let's
about the
see
rest of you, party
who's
mates,
on
but
watch after Haribo. I'll say that person's probably the most likely to overhear it, right? Because that feels like a good time for Haribo to accidentally be listening to this as like the watches are switched.
so I'm going to say a table member, not an NPC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Thaddeus who was going to take last watch because he needed to rest and recover.
Yeah, and it seems
Wouldn't
like Haribo was on first watch, the way that we boiled it
What?
down.
Yeah,
Oh, I was gonna
so
say, wouldn't it be the person that would go
right
that
after.
had just gone that would still be awake? Because why would the person that's about to go be awake? Because they're gonna be asleep. They're gonna get woken up. But the person that had just gone would still be trying to fall asleep. That was just my logic. I've never had to take watch before, so I don't know how it works.
We could just do like perception checks from the crew to see, Gabe, maybe, if they like overhear. My
Yeah,
thought is that like I want
I'm
to
gonna
play
say
this
it's
for you
gonna be
guys to
like a
know.
DC 18 or 19 perception check for a party member to overhear this, but this is definitely something that we want the table to hear for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not Thaddeus then.
He asleep. That's okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not Marjorie either.
She asleep.
All right, it's
Sparkalonius
all
got
on you,
a
Sparkalonius.
14
All right. Well,
Alas, this is
From the
Haribo's
pot.
secret to keep.
then that's okay. This is a good Haribo thing. It's you know, it might alter his thoughts on a few things, but for you
But
guys
what
who
about
play it,
Gib, who's a minion of Marjorie's who could overhear it and then share it with Marjorie?
and the
I
Greyman.
have made my roles for the NPCs.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be secretive about it.
Okay, here's
I
what
am
I'm
gonna
gonna
be secretive
do.
about it.
I'm gonna click
GQC.
that. Pause. Go back.
The NPCs have the knowledge that they will have.
Let's see. I'm going to share your screen, application, media player. Okay.
I'm pretty
All should be
excited. I haven't
good.
heard this either.
Yeah, Gabe. Gabe sent me a script. We did some edits, and then I have this done. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I'll edit it in clean, so do whatever. Yeah. Here we go.
GQC. Uma, Falcon, Sing, 3212. Cinder, Genesis, Nestle. Stardate, 6563. Time, 0437.
So you finally gone and done it, huh? You blew up the lab. You stayed late, probably for the fourth or fifth night, knowing how you get it. Tinkered with something someone definitely told you not to poke at, and now look. Fuck you, Haribo. You arrogant, self-centered, myopic, work-obsessed little prick. How could you not have listened to me for fucking once? How many times have I told you to rest when you need rest? This is exactly the reason Chief Wade pulled your credentials for a week when he found you sleeping in front of a trough of industrial-strength oil cleaner. In fact, you're still on night suspension from that stunt. How did you even get into the lab? It was supposed to be a joke down at Chevy's, not something I have to tell Toblerone about in the morning. Fuck, it's already morning, isn't it? I can't believe this. Lab's a mess, so I hear. Won't let anyone below Griffin clearance near it while they're doing cleanup and investigation, but I cornered Sergeant Munns and I pressed him. What are you doing, Harlow? Told me the whole floor had been locked off. He said he saw a cleaning crew coming back from there with burnt hazmat suits. You have any idea what it takes to do that? The lower floors are crawling with more suits than I've ever seen. Whatever happened, it seems like we're lucky the lab contained it. So there's that to be grateful for, I guess. Hey, Haribo, don't be dead, yeah? I mean, my gut or whatever tells me you're not, but I'm about to deal with a whole lot of people telling me you are. That it's a mathematical impossibility for you to have survived whatever happened there last night. So, prove them wrong for me, okay? If you're not dead, you probably have the belt, right? So don't die out there while we figure out where you're at and come get you. I love you, Harry Boo, and I'll fight you no matter what I have to. Yes,
Dr. Genesis, you're needed urgently on C deck.
C deck. It's 5 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
End of transmission.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
Blah, blah, blah.
The thought plickens.
Did you say Toblerone? Like the candy?
Sure did.
Sure did.
Hell yeah.
Did you catch the Cinder's name too?
Genesis?
Nestle.
Yeah.
Oh. Funny. Sponsors?
Sponsors. Toblerone, Nestle, get at me. Hold on. Tamagotchi, Haribo, anyone? Just get at us. We'll take it.
I'll take anything.
Oh wow, that was really good.
That was so good. Snaps.
You were totally right. Reading it live was a different beast. This is pretty good. It's pretty fun. That hit me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep writing those.
That got me right in the feels when I was going through it, and I was like, "This is good."
Does Haribo have a secret wife?
Secret wife.
Or a public wife.
That's true. Secret
Just not
does.
public to us.
wife.
Public wife.
But what about Miranda? Whatever her name was.
Miranda writes.
Minerva.
Sorry, Minerva.
What about her?
Well, I don't know. You guys had a vibe.
We have a thing. Yeah, me and Minerva definitely have a thing. Definitely.
Oh, okay, good. Because I'm a Minerva Haribo shipper through and through.
So probably not public wife then.
No, I'm on Team Miranda / Minerva.
Team Miranda. Good. We need people on Team Miranda, I guess.
I can't remember facts about my own character. I'm sorry, I can't remember facts about yours.
No, that's okay. You nailed it.
Is definitely the most I've ever been able to remember about everybody.
So whoever wakes up and comes to check on watch for Haribo, he's kind of a mess. And I think he just kind of quickly is like, yeah, I'm pretty tired. I think I'm gonna I don't know who.
Sparkalonius only meditates for 3 hours, so I assume Sparkalonius can take the second watch. Oh, hey there, buddy. Are you doing okay there? Looks
Yeah.
like you had a rough night.
No, I just going through some stuff with the belt. I think I'm just gonna get some sleep.
Doesn't fit?
Yeah, it doesn't fit. And Haribo kind of wanders off into his I guess he gave I don't know. Hey, single person tent. Yeah. Hell yeah. Easy peasy. Deep sobs resonate from within.
I like the thought of Sparkalonius just the next day being super sensitive about Haribo and his weight problem that he's going through. About his jumpsuit being a little too tight, maybe.
Oh man.
Because Sparkalonius just listened to him cry for the next hours.
He's really beat up about that belt. You can always put a new notch in it.
All the bells and whistles that you'd think could be adjustable.
Got him.
Fuck. So good. The belt's a one size fits all.
So stupid.
Just stupid enough.
Oh,
Flash
it's
forward
perfect.
to episode 200 where we see, a large size space character with the belt wrapped around like their thigh.
It'll fit you somewhere. That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow.
One size fits most.
Wow. Okay. So now I have to follow that with narrative.
We had to break the tension up a little bit.
Okay. So it's the next morning, and we can see up on the mountain this hobgoblin stronghold. This stone wall with a stone tower, sort of rickety looking. built up behind it. What's the plan? Are we just gonna roll on in? Do we want to sneak around? Do we want to pretend to be a band again? I guess we're still pretending to be a band.
Yeah, we have two
'Cause we got-
NPCs with
yeah.
us now that are expecting us to be
We
a
are
band.
a band
Yeah.
24/7, except for when
I
I
guess
was
that's
sobbing in
true.
my
I guess
tent
you-
last night.
1.5 NPCs, maybe. I don't know what the Gray Man expects.
The unexpected, probably.
I had a question about, I guess, so we have this big lone mountain, right?
Mhm.
You said it was like a stone tower. There's a big wall. Is this like built, the settlement that you're talking about, is this like built up onto the mountain? Like, is this the settlement that gets us in, I guess, is my question, or is this another settlement before the mountain?
This is the settlement that gets us in. It's not built like straight up on top of the mountain, but it's like a semicircular wall built into the mountain side, surrounding something, a tower that rises above it.
Yeah,
I think we
mean,
should have a band huddle. Band only. Huddle.
Band
for
only
morale.
huddle.
I
Band only
believe
huddle.
we
How do
call
you
that a
how do you
rehearsal,
announce that?
Marjorie.
describe that for me?
band meeting. We need a quick band meeting if we are to approach this final show of ours. If you guys don't mind, I guess while we're getting the
Well, really
camel
quick, let's
together.
get a little bit of a sort of a lay of the land here. What kind of music they into here?
Oh, I guess that's a question for me.
Welcome to the band. For now, well, while we're in this
Oh.
part of the huddle.
Okay. Good to be a
Grayman, you
good to
can
be a
enter
band
too.
member.
The
Yeah,
pre-huddle huddle.
The pre-huddle. Exactly.
Yeah,
Grayman,
okay,
you can Satchel. Sorry, not Grayman. Satchel, you can join too if you have any insight.
Raymond's a little rude.
That is not what I said out loud. I wouldn't have. I definitely wouldn't have said. Well, honestly, I can see him
heard
making
it in your
It was in the
accent.
accent.
shit. Well,
You said it with your mouth.
you said it with your mouth. I have to be very careful about what I say with that mouth. All right.
Fine.
I hate that infers that Horrible has more than one mouth.
Satchel
Nice.
goes and sits in the wagon.
No, what I meant. I was trying to be inclusive.
I think you hurt his feelings.
Am I part of the
did.
band?
Yes, Kendra and Gib.
And people say I'm the evil one.
It's Gib.
Gib, you're definitely part of the band. You've got an instrument, remember? All those
And-
bowls and plates.
And
Oh,
a vest.
yeah. And a vest. Okay.
We couldn't do it without
The
you.
question was for Kendra, and the question was, what kind of music do they like?
Yeah, what kind of music they into?
They did definitely like they would definitely like the Epic of Gribik. That'll definitely go over well with most of the crowd. But I will say, because it's a settlement that's connected to the Underdark, the populace is a little bit more diverse. So if you wanted to go closer to the experimental stuff you tried at your first show, I'm sure that you would get some fans that way too. Maybe less of them, but maybe they'd be more devoted.
Maybe,
You
Oh,
know?
so we could get some super fans that way, huh?
Yeah, super fans.
maybe we could marry the two. Sparklonius, when you first
Oh, I don't
performed
want to get
at-
married yet.
No, not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little.
I more meant the
No.
idea, guys. Good lord. The ideas, all of them together. Sparklonius. when
I'm
I
not
first-
against the idea of getting married, but
All right. Okay. Well, you are good at jazz. I have seen in the past from your first few shows, and while we are getting more into, maybe we can, marry mix some of the sounds from Gribic and some of your jazzier beats, and we can get some cooler stuff going. Now that we've had a time to practice together, I think we could play around in that experimental space.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. I think maybe we could do Gribic 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Well, if yeah, we
Didn't
certainly
you die at the end
could.
of Gribic 1, though?
Gribic I mean, he has a son though.
Necromancer.
That's why
Okay.
it's that's why
But
it's called
canonically,
Gribic
he
2.
does have a son.
It's Gribic 2. That's his name. The son.
His name is
Gribic 2
Gribic
is his
also.
name. It could be about Gribic escaping from hell. Like, we can do all sorts of heaven. Of
That
course
is
he would
pretty
go to
experimental.
Goblin heaven. Yeah, right.
Is it we can get Orpheus adjacent with it?
Orpheus.
Gribic's time in the
Orpheus.
afterlife.
Oh, hold on.
Orpheus.
Ooh.
So good.
Gribic meets Orpheus in the afterlife.
Dang.
And they go on adventures.
Or they fall in love. Who knows?
Or they fall in love.
That would be
Mhm.
pretty experimental for a goblin camp.
They haven't heard this section of Gribic's tale yet. We should be careful about which parts we include just to make sure we can nail this. Excellent.
Y'all cool with this?
Y'all cool
Gribic's
with
Wanna
ballad
make
is
sure.
nuts.
We have a few hours, and I could do
alright.
some alterations on
So I think we should
instruments.
do a quick little band huddle, get some ideas together. Thank
that
you
what
for
we
your
were
input,
just doing?
Kendra. Really appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'll go sit in the wagon, I guess.
Good job, Kendra. Thanks for your input.
Is
Okay,
Barson
Kendra
in the
leaves.
huddle?
No.
Oh.
Barson's not part of the band, he's the manager.
Yeah, the manager's not part of the band.
But what about the security guard then?
He played the
That
axe
is
in the
part of
last
the band.
show.
He's
Come
down.
on.
The band.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
he's the percussion now.
Remember when
That's
he played
fair.
the axe? It was so good.
Oh, and he shimmied his. Oh yes, and he shimmied
And he
his.
shimmied his tank
That's
top.
right.
His tank
My
top.
midriff chainmail.
I apologize. You're correct.
How could you?
So, wait.
Okay, so now you're in a band huddle, just the band. What's up?
Alright, what did you want to talk about, Haribo? Your
Well, what-
greatest weakness, perhaps? Just kidding.
Stop.
Just kidding.
Wow.
I'm stubborn, all right. I was literally trying to recall. I don't think I'm the one that said we should.
It was
we should
me.
talk. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Marjorie is who I meant
Yeah,
to say.
I was gonna say. I don't
Hello,
think it was
Haribo.
you.
Nice to see you. Welcome
Gaslighting
to the
myself
huddle.
into thinking it.
Tell me
I
your
just-
weakness.
No. I just thought that we should maybe talk before we get in there about what the plan is.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
sorry. Sometimes I forget we're not a real band.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, we have played several shows together. I think even as a fake, we have pretended to be a band longer than we were adventuring together.
Yeah, it's
Prior.
good to know that we have other job options in case adventuring doesn't work out.
We are becoming a multimedia corporation. I mean, I guess I've gotten caught up in this, but it seems like it would be best to go in those front gates with the intent to play a final show and then quote unquote party, as we have done time and time again with them, only this time, not party and get them maybe excessively partied and see if we can do something about finding them goblins and getting them out of here while they are distracted.
Yeah, we should figure out where they keep them. Or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely need to figure out how they have been disseminated. I mean, we don't know if they're even in this outer shell or if we're going to have to play yet another show on the interior of the mountain. This could not be our final show. We don't even really know. Maybe we just sort of back pocket the execute the drunks plan. Execute while they're drunk.
Leave Boston
plan.
out of this.
No, sorry.
Oh.
No, sorry. Execute while they're drunk plan. Thank you for showing your face on that one, Gabe. You were like, "Excuse me?" And I was like, that didn't sound right either. Execute while they're drunk plan, just in case we find the goblins, but there may be more in the mountain.
Yes, I think the best plan is to be as low-key as possible for as long as possible, and then we hightail it out there all at once. Hard to
Yeah.
do a distraction when you are the distraction.
Pulling the goblins out of the mountain and then through the settlement is going to be challenging.
Bite the feet.
Thaddeus, do you have any input on? I don't know. This is a tough one.
Do you know
It
any
is- yeah.
eagles?
Glad that we've finally come to that conclusion after all of this journey.
Yeah, does anyone know any giant eagles that they've
Right.
neglected to mention until now?
Yeah. And I know a few pigeons from the town, but I'm not
I
sure
know
that's the
Hotel
same.
California.
I know a dragon.
We could ask the dragon.
I mean, he's sort of far away to ask him now.
Hmm.
Sure is, but you know, Gib,
What?
I don't know if we could get you back to that. He's really far away. Never mind. He's really far away. He's like 10
He's
days
so-
travel. Yeah.
And Gib has little legs.
Well, hold on. Now, this was a 10-day travel by Stu going as what we have done, 12 maybe at this point. I don't quite recall. I'll have to recount. But my question is if you push Stu back, we're already going to have to push it back, right? If you chug Stu back to that dragon, you get on that dragon, there's no way that's a 10-day flight, right? There's no way. That thing's going to move much faster than Stu moved. That's a
What is
day.
it
That's a
like
day's travel.
How are we going to get a dragon to pick up a bunch of goblins and not just eat them? Or us?
That's
I
true.
mean, whatever it is convinced of to leave its nest to help us in the first place, I imagine will do enough to get it to not consume the goblins. We just have to figure out what that is. I think initially we were planning on warding the dragon off, so this is like... I mean, we could technically get the giant eagles to swoop in at the end and like pick us up. Like if we could figure out what to trade the giant eagles, but this is like a super
Most
backup.
dragons are not notoriously like lawful, good, helpful sorts. Is that might be the rub for Thaddeus and all of this.
And also, we'd be sending Gib as our negotiator.
There is that very valid concern as well.
Well, he's a member of the team. He's got to pull his weight at some point, but I can agree. That's like a straw in the dark plan. I'm just like,
yeah, that's the Hail Mary.
But
if all else fails,
now would be the time that we would need to like begin. Like Gib would want
prepare.
to leave.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, if he leaves on Stoob, like we don't have Stoob, and then the 3-hour trip now is longer.
How many goblins are we
Just
trying to
us in a
save?
wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
How
don't.
many goblins are there that we're trying to save? Does anyone have a head count or a name or a list?
30.
30? Could we cram 30 goblins into the cart and then just
but
a
without
fit?
Stoob, I don't think we're pulling that cart.
No, I'm saying like instead of taking a dragon, can we just find a way to hide them into the cart and then be like, "Oh, we gotta go to the next show. Bye, 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 bye." And then
I feel like if we can hide all 30 goblins in the cart,
motor it.
we're gonna
Don't
have
mind
to
our
like walk
fully
next to the
laden
cart.
cart
Yeah.
with us walking next to it.
Yeah, we did write in here with no Kendra, no Satchel. So sorry, we have to go on alone. No, we don't have room anymore.
No,
We-
we came. We know the way back. We came with you. Remember?
We came with
we
you.
were there.
We know the shortcuts, zappy hands and all. Yeah, I mean, we literally will have to cross that bridge when we come to it.
I don't
Like-
like that.
I don't
Yeah, but
either.
with our current methodology that has gotten us this far, I don't think we thought about the next step. So I think we need to continue with the plan of dazzle
Of
them with
not
brilliance
thinking about
or
the next
baffle them with
step.
bullshit.
Oh God.
We'll come up with
That's
something
where
in a minute.
Sparkalonius is
So
going to have to
far.
come in clutch with his
Yeah.
charisma
Cold.
checks.
It's called improvising.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if we can perform so well, we can get them to offer us a reward. We can say, "I'll take 30 goblins."
I'll take
those
30
decent ones.
specific goblins.
Yeah, but I want to pick them. They're my.
You,
I want.
not you. You. Me, not
I'll just
you.
hold my
Aw.
I'll just hold my hand and Haribo, you give me a thumbs up on each goblin as I rub my hand over the top of them.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, I guess. This was
Good meeting, guys. Good band
good
meeting.
meeting.
Good as they
Alright.
always are.
Break.
As we walk back to the wagon, I guess I want to offer Marjorie and Gib. Gib, I don't know that we have enough time for me to create that box. So if I can create another more simple instrument for you, if you would prefer to switch it up, if you have anything from your, time at home that maybe is more suited to you. I guess I should have asked in the first place. I just got overly excited. And same for you, Marjorie. If the squeeze horn is not working out for you, I know that you have been an expert. But
That's me. That's me playing. Sorry, I was showing off.
if you
The
prefer a
squeeze horn
different
has been excellent.
alteration,
At this point, I don't have it. I don't want to relearn something. This is fine. It's. I don't. I think. I don't think I should change my instrument the day of our biggest performance.
I mean, we're going experimental. Again, we could do whatever we want, and they will never know. No, but that makes sense. That
All
makes sense.
right. Well, I'm not gonna
The glass bowls
I'm not gonna
were fun, but
gonna look a gift horse in the mouth if you're offering to
horse.
do a new
his name is Stu.
a
and
new
he's a camel.
instrument for me.
Yeah. Well, not for you.
as
for
I-
Gib.
For Gib, yeah, certainly.
No.
As I look at the list of patches on Marjorie's robe,
Oh,
I notice 2 sets of wind chimes.
2.
Oh,
There were some repeats, so I just sort of left the repeats in there for sure.
2 sets of wind chimes. So Gib could definitely switch to the wind chimes.
Heck yeah, for my boy Gib.
Heck yeah.
Chimes for my Gib.
That's
Gib
my.
reaches forth and pulls the patches off and just has 2 sets of wind chimes in his hands.
Does he need 2 or 1? Because how does he? Is he playing them like clanging them, or is he like hitting them with one?
He could hit them with a little tiny mallet.
Yeah, how does one play wind chimes?
Oh, like a triangle,
you're not
but like
supposed
so many
to,
more
but-
choices.
or with your fingers, and you just run the back of your fingers across the wind chimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull one wind chime, and then I'll find a stick, and I'll hand the stick and the wind chime to my buddy Gib, my little
I can
henchman.
wrap it so it's like a mallet.
Huzzah!
All right, we'll give this a shot. Why
Give,
not?
give it a rip, Gib. Come on, fuck it up.
Okay, Gib rips it.
Does he rip the wind chimes though, or does he like play well?
Does he beef it? Or does
Oh, he rips the wind chimes, doesn't he? He tears them clean up. You said give it a rip, and Gib just like reaches up
and
and confusedly
Gib's
tears
like,
off the
"Okay."
wind chimes. He's like, "Whatever. That's not music, Marjorie."
Gib rolled
Whatever
a
you say,
dirty
mistress.
1.
Oh,
Definitely.
those
Definitely.
chimes are tore up.
Just grabs all of them and yanks them off.
I was like, oh, Gib.
I thought,
Mm.
like with the patch, right? No,
Not quite.
Why did you show an interest in the chimes, Gib? I thought I asked you if you had an instrument from your home or your peoples, and you tore the you pointed at the patch, and Marjorie tore it off, and then you ripped him to shreds, Gib.
Yeah, Gib, what a waste.
It's a wild way to play music.
it's just like an instrument from my home.
Well, wait.
You only play them once. They're single-use instruments.
Oh, Marjorie, I see a second patch there. Would you mind? I just want to show Gib how to...
I need to repair these wind chimes before I start ripping off all my wind chimes.
I could repair
Yeah,
them.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to like retie the strings. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm
I'll give 'em a
saving
little repair.
I'm saving those second wind chimes for a rainy day.
Give me an hour on the road, Gib.
Maybe
I'll
Marjorie
repair
needs to
these
feel
perfectly.
whimsical.
Can I, the way that Haribo repairs them, just so that you're aware, is Gib holds them like wind chimes like he was going to, but now he has to pull 5 separate strings with his fingers to get them to ding. He has like little bells inside of them. He had to repair it, and Haribo always does it differently. So now he has to play it like with his
He
fingers.
improves upon the
And there's
design,
an
of
extra
course.
one, you know what? I learned from the glass bowls, there's an extra loop for his tail, so he can play the biggest one with his tail in the center.
Okay, so he's sort of got like marionette chimes.
Yeah, the marionette chimes.
Okay, that's fun. That's fun.
Good recovery, Gib. Way to pivot.
We didn't
It
need
had
the
nothing
second
to
patch.
do with it. Gib would do it again in a heartbeat.
He goes, the first time I give it to him, he goes to pull. I'm like, no, give.
Nope.
It's not a
Spray him with a
single-use
bottle.
instrument.
Okay, well.
Is it showdown, throwdown, hoedown time?
Hoedown, Throwdown Part 2? Part 3?
I believe it's going to be Kribbik the Brave 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Kribbik the Brave 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Also, Kendra, I guess while we're on the road, are they aware of our impending arrival, that we're coming soon? But when you left, did it...
Probably. They probably know by now.
Yeah. Right?
Maybe.
Well, I'm not very confident in that answer.
I mean, we blew him off the socks at the last town. It's gotta reach... The word has to have reached here by now.
I mean, yeah, we can send rudimentary signals through the Fuzzyfoot network to let them know someone's coming. I don't think we can tell them that it's a band and they kicked ass at the last show.
Make it a rhythmic sound through the fuzzy foot. Like, make it go like bum bum dum bum 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 bum. That way they know a band is coming.
If you played the sound of Kribbik the Brave, they would have known how well we did.
Yeah,
Imagine you're
can you just play the whole
Morse
thing?
code and you get jazz.
Play the whole thing.
Skibbity bop bop stop. Skibbity dibbity boop boop.
Skibbity bop bop stop is so good. Oh my god. Jazz Morse code is my favorite. Skibbity bop bop stop.
Bop bop stop. Bop stop.
Skibbity stop.
Anyways. Okay. The wagon journey's on. We make our way up to the mountain. Does anyone want to make any checks or of any sort at all? Or do we just sort of want to let the narrative wash over us and just sort of let things happen to the party?
I mean,
Well, when you put it like that.
Yeah, I don't
I mean, is
feel
there
great about.
some sort of gut check of like, should we really be doing this?
No is the answer.
Yeah.
Haribo is most curious if there's any other way out of the mountain. Like, I don't know that I would be able to see that, but like another exit. How are we going? I'm most worried about how we're gonna get the goblins through this settlement. And I don't know if, while we approach, if there's anything that I can be on the lookout that would be like starting to think about how we're gonna exit this place.
Okay.
Maybe a survival check of some kind, an investigation.
Yeah, I could see a survival check. I could see you having like binoculars or something built into your
Night
goggles.
Yeah. Where's the D20? Okay. You 15. I don't think I even need to look at my number. That's a 15 probably.
15's not bad. 15's not bad.
Yes.
I think with the 15 you are you're scanning the area sort of surrounding this fortification. And you see, I think perhaps you don't even see, but you hear like your belt picks up the trace sounds of rushing water, and you recall both that this settlement is connected in some way to the Underdark, and that in a previous episode.
That's insane. That just fucking came back to me. I'm blown away. Yeah.
In a previous episode, Marjorie saw some stuff about caves. Caves pretty close to the surface of the ground because of all this water going around.
Limestone caves and the way that they branch off or something. And we didn't go search that, but you did like remember that about. That's wild. Yeah. Or the limestone riverbed. Yes, that's what it was. Fuck yeah, dude. So cool.
So I can't say for certain, but you know, that you are connected to the extensive Underdark cave system, and that there are surface caves around. So,
Haribo gulps. This is gonna be a long one.
cave stuff, if you wanna. If you can somehow
don't know
win
that
a
we're
bet
going to make
to
our
march
time
them out
frame to
the
get
front
back
door,
to
that would be
Decorum.
great too.
What were you saying, Mike?
I don't know that we're going to make our time frame to get back to Decorum if we end up in the Underdark.
Yeah, what about the Shakespeare?
If we end up, I mean,
what about the Shakespeare?
I mean, that is why we're counting our days.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're on a boat though, like, then we're not running
True.
Stube
We
in the
could make up
moment.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot needs to be considered, but I think that is currently the same, the equivalent of sending Gib to find a dragon. It's like, okay, cool, great. There's another exit. I love that. We don't know what that means, but it's there, and I do. That makes me feel a little bit better.
Okay. Does anyone else want to make checks, or is it just Haribo?
No, being as he is a mountain dwarf, Thaddeus would go for a survival check as well.
Okay.
And that would be a 17.
Hey.
Can I do like a prepare a tune check? Like I wanna like Sparklonius wants to spend time really working on a banger here.
Yeah, give me a charisma check, and if you do well, you get advantage on your next charisma check.
Sick. All right, I got a 14 total. Not the best charisma check I've ever had.
No, it's not. No, I'm not gonna give it to you for a 14.
Fine. You know, they're okay with lyrics.
Yeah, no, you're
What about just
you're
like a
noodling around
+1
back there.
from his from being rehearsed? He still is
Yeah,
trying to come up with something.
you can have a +1, certainly.
Okay, sweet. I'll take a
Yeah.
+1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big number for me. If I can get a couple more of those, we'll be really in business.
I rolled a 19 perception check. Oh, just like what is like kind of I'm using back to my urchin roots, just trying to see like sussing out, who are what our audience looks like, what do we got going on, what's the general vibe. She's always about a vibe check.
Always got a vibe check. Okay.
Vibe check is great.
Okay. Thaddeus, I think with your mountain dwarf experience and your 17 check, you discern in the sort of the area surrounding this wall, you can see evidence of like further fortification and work having been done to make this mountainside even more defensible. There are characteristic like piles of stone that you see that indicate certain types of like pits for like troops to be in.
Okay.
Yeah, not so much like traps, as much as being prepared for siege, perhaps.
Okay. I would
Um,
definitely share and point those out to the rest of the crew as subtly as I can with Grayman and our other friend
it
on board.
that may also give an indication for the type of reception you're likely to receive.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a
Maybe we should
great
do a
plan.
song about
I love it.
siegecraft. Build a catapult. I'll work on it.
Also, if we should approach playing music so they're aware that it is us, the band, coming.
Oh, that's a valid point.
That is a valid point, and I do want then I'll do performance checks for everybody as we roll up on this spots so that we can, so that our editor will have a great time with this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But first, Marjorie did an urchin check, and if I recall, you did pretty good, right?
19 for my vibe check.
19 for your vibe check. I can't give you a vibe check because there's no audience to vibe check yet, because we're still sort of coming up on the settlement. But with your urchin senses, you see the Grayman. You spot him out of the corner of your eye, taking various things off of his person and putting them into a pouch. And then taking the pouch, which is a fairly decent size, and putting that entire pouch into his breast pocket of his vest.
And we remember what else is in there. Poisons.
Yeah.
Poisons and statues is what we know the Grayman has.
Pocket of holding.
his vest of holding.
Best of have stuff.
Vest of have stuff is pretty good.
Best of have stuff is good. At least my belt is doing that for me at the moment.
So, performance checks for your walk-up music.
He's hiding his
Oh, yeah.
stuff. Are they gonna fucking? Oh no. I mean, we don't have anything.
That's a 12 for Thaddeus.
14. 14 for Marjorie.
Performance +3. That's a 12.
Yikes. Maybe we shouldn't have let them know we were coming.
I mean, not every performance is a banger. Sparkalonius usually saves us anyway. Plus, we
Yeah.
have Gib.
That's true, and his wind chimes. Did we lose Sparkoni?
No. What did you get, Lawrence?
All right. Sorry, my dice were messed up. I don't have any physical dice, and my website stopped working. I got a good roll this time. 17.
Well,
And then
maybe this is yet another moment where we get to control the narrative. Nope. You
yeah,
can't.
and we did such a good job, and we won, and we did such a good job. They gave
As
us
we
the goblins for
approached,
free.
yeah, they open the gate and say, "Here are all 30 goblins."
So we
Here's your
heard you were
reward."
looking for your goblin friends. Well, we have them right here for you.
And we're not
And
upset about
300
it.
gold each.
And
Bye.
300 gold each. Bye.
And then we flew off on a dragon that loved us forever, like
Mhm,
Game of Thrones.
mhm,
Bye.
mhm,
The end.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Okay. Well, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Leave it in.
Yeah.
Manifest what we want to see.
It's always good to know.
Turns out that was like Ocean's 11. We were just explaining it.
Yeah, it's a flashback. We're already back in Haribo's hut. This is how we.
And that's
The
how we
story.
all
The hut is
met.
crammed full of all the goblins.
And
we
that's the
saved.
story of how I became a hero to all
It's fucking
goblins.
stacked against the wall, like.
Like 101 Dalmatians at the end when they've got all those
Thank you.
puppies.
No.
Oh,
Gib rolled a 7. So
Oh.
Gib.
It's a new instrument. He'll
it
learn.
is.
Well, the wind chime
7
is
on
new
a
for him.
D8?
Yeah, the wind chime's new. He's new to the wind chime.
Wait, 7 on a D8?
Oh.
Alas. So I think this is sort of Sparkalonius playing a tune on top of. I mean, the rest of you rolled like better than average. So.
Oh, wait, make mine an 18. I forgot I had a +1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh,
Does that
yeah.
help?
I rolled a 14.
It's one better.
We did say experimental, Practice
It
for
is what-
experimental
you
isn't going
know-
to sound great.
It's sort of a it's sort of a waltz kind of a thing. It's in like 3/4 time. And then Sparkalonius is sort of playing on top of that.
Ba-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
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 That
That's
that sounds like
it.
about our checks. It's good.
Let's see. So you arrive at the at the walls playing that. And I think it sort of goes similarly to the last village that we arrive at, where once you have arrived at the wall, someone shouts down from the top of the wall. State your rank and purpose.
Gib, do the thing.
Gib, do the thing. I
Gib,
look
do
at
the
Kendra and don't talk this time.
Give check. Do.
No, Gib. Can
Damn,
Marjorie just put a hand on Gib's shoulder? Does that aid at all? Does that help? Just
I
kind
mean,
of.
are you trying to stop him or are you trying to help him?
I'm just like support. Like I'm here, right? I'm right with you, Gib. Please don't
Okay.
mess this up.
Please don't mess this
just,
up.
just stay here. Just stand.
That's a lot to telegraph through one hand on a shoulder.
Listen, you don't know.
I'm
You
here
don't
for
know
you.
between
I'm right
hench
behind you. You got
person and
this.
hench lord. All right, you don't know.
Hench lord. Oh my god.
Putting a
Head
hand on
hench.
someone's shoulder, not a check. Telegraphing 4 paragraphs to them through your squeeze, definitely a check.
Squeeze in Morse code.
Yeah.
Skibbity bebop, stop.
Maybe wisdom? Arcana, perhaps?
Which one? Well, let's see which one do I have higher.
Arcana is a root of wisdom,
Intel.
so if you have...
Is it?
Oh,
I
no,
thought it
it's
might be
intelligence. You're right, you're right.
Yeah.
So, are we doing it? Did you say wisdom or did you say?
Wisdom feels more like what you're doing.
Okay, so
You're
that's
trying
great.
to just sort of wish.
That's good for me. That is a 19. Can I just wish to get what I want?
I was gonna say, it sounds more like
You
a
can,
charisma
but not in that
support.
way.
Like, I'm here for you, buddy. Not like a, I wish you do this, right? That's so funny. I hope that whatever you're gonna do is the right thing.
Oh,
A
wow.
lot to telegraph through a squeeze. That's funny.
I'm sorry.
When can I make a win check? I want to do a win.
So
What
the
does a
Gib can use his
19 get me?
chimes?
Yeah, what does a 19 get me
On
in
her
terms
wish
of
check.
my wish?
Well, it's a good thing that Gib rolled an 18 before any of this happened.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. Kendra gets up and, Sorceress Kendra, escorting the band
Kissing
Lips.
booth.
Kissing Booth. There it is.
Kissing
Booth.
Kissing lips is good too, though.
I was thinking about the patch.
Do I have Kissing Lips patch?
It's isn't that what it is? Isn't the Kissing Booth symbol is like a pair of
Oh,
lips?
I thought you meant on my cloak. I'm like, do I make lips?
Oh yeah, I too
here?
was like, what is she gonna pull off the cloak for lips? What's happening?
Ew, I don't want lips.
Yeah, I don't want lips. And then Gib pops off. Gib hops not out of the wagon, but up onto the bench where Barson's at with Kendra. And he does the same peculiar bow that he did at the previous village. And he says, we humbly greet the mighty horde.
Haribo bows lightly behind him, hopefully as like a, show of whatever he's doing. Solidarity, that's the word.
There's a brief pause. And then you hear like ropes and wood creaking as the stone slab doors of this wall slowly open inwards. And you get your first view into our main settlement. And it looks very much
welcoming and pleasant.
oh yeah, no, super,
Like 30
super duper. No.
goblins.
It's
Yeah.
just 30 goblins sitting
30
in an
friendly
abandoned...
goblins saying hello, welcome.
Yes!
We've been waiting for you.
Done.
Playing
You
cornhole,
just
having a good
you just
time.
have to get that one dude up on the wall.
Now this is a good game.
It's sort of it looks like the architecture you might see in a storybook, of a neighborhood where all of the buildings are sort of, they're not quite to code. They're all sort of built in a hodgepodge. They slant one way or another. Nothing is quite in symmetry or in alignment. I think it's a lot of mud brick with interspersed wood and stone. And you can see that it's a lively place. There are many goblins and other humanoids sort of going about their business. However, your attention is immediately sort of drawn by the troop of hobgoblin soldiers bearing spears, who march out of a building off this main courtyard, and assemble in a semicircle surrounding your wagon.
I like to imagine that we may have been playing up until that point, and then there's that, like, you know, that sound of like the band stopping abruptly. You know? Kendra, I don't know if you have anything to do with to help with this satchel, but we're just here to play a show, guys. We're just here to play a show.
Is anybody gonna, speak for all this?
Kendra, you're the guide. Would you?
That was
our
Kendra
guide?
asking the question.
Oh. Oh, speak. Sorry, for them. Or wait, for us, or for them?
No, for them.
Okay, sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Oh
I
no,
don't say
I'm
that.
not
No.
sure.
Fuck it with an accent. Dang it. Dang it.
Um. Okay. All right. A hobgoblin exits the dwelling of the, I guess, not the dwelling, sort of the building that all of these spear bearing hobgoblins have also exited. And as soon as she steps out, Candra's whole demeanor changes.
Uh-oh.
That's not good.
Harbo doesn't notice a thing.
This hobgoblin is female, is about 5'5", is wearing black leathers trimmed in white fur, and the cape that she is wearing, which is also black leather and trimmed in white fur, is bedecked in red runes that also trim the edge of this cape.
Talk about loot.
Above her head, in sort of fiery lines, are traced two horns. Is not real horns. It is, for lack of a better word, magic.
Kendra, she looks tough.
Kendra immediately assumed the same bowing pose that Gib did originally when this lady stepped out.
Haribo will follow suit. Haribo will follow suit for sure. That feels safe.
Sparkalonius is going to look to his right and then do the same.
Yeah, I guess it's respect. If we're just a band has gotta respect its host.
It's it's certainly a choice to be made.
Yeah.
She walks out.
I don't know that Thaddeus wants to bow to these folks.
Also a strong choice. She walks out with her hands behind her back straight. She stops before the wagon, perhaps 15 feet from Stuve, and surveys the assemblage. She says, "Well, Satchel, I didn't think that we would enjoy your company again so soon. You said you had business out west." Satchel says, "My apologies for the incorrectness of my previous statement, but as you can see, I have found a most interesting distraction. I believe that this band will knock your socks off." She says, "Well, if they are enough to interest you, then they must certainly be something to speak to.
No pressure,
Troops,
folks.
I know.
please escort the band. They're called Kissing Booth. Pardon me. Please escort Kissing Booth to the visitors' quarters. Kendra, you stay here."
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Kendra, not saying a word, hops out of the wagon.
Well, Kendra, I'm sure we'll see you later for the show, right?
I'm
Right.
not 100% sure.
Definitely. Yeah. I'll be there. I'll see you.
I didn't catch your name. My name's Haribo. I play synth for the kissing booth. Hopefully, clearly talking to the person.
The air thickens a little bit. All of the hobgoblin spearmen are all now looking at you.
I ignore all of this. I pretend like it's not weird because it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be for me. It's very tense, but we're here to play a show.
We're here to
Don't
play
know
a
why
show.
this is weird. I definitely very clearly know it's weird, but don't know why.
My palms feel sweaty.
Do you have palms?
Sure.
No.
There's vomit on my sweater already.
Oh.
Mom's spaghetti.
She looks at you. She says, "Bold of you to address me directly.
Oh.
You are Haribo?"
Deepest apologies. I am indeed.
You have an interesting demeanor.
The customs apologies.
You lack all sense of decorum, but it is fun to observe.
This is true. This is true.
My name is Miranda.
Awesome. Sick. Nice
Now
to
I'm gonna
meet
get
you,
confused.
Miranda.
I'm gonna get confused. No.
That's so fucking funny. Not even
Brilliant.
narratively funny, just funny for us in this moment. That's awesome.
Now who will
I
be
do-
shipping who?
I do jokes for everybody.
So good. Oh, so good to meet you, Miranda. I'm sure we're gonna knock your socks off with our show this evening. Gribik too. I've heard Electric Boogaloo, and I wink at her.
Oh.
I'll push that envelope.
Man, who am I
She
shipping
kills
now?
you.
She kills you.
Knock my socks off, you say.
Oh.
Promises, promises. And then she snaps her fingers, and the troop of spearmen assemble in a tight perimeter around your wagon.
I whisper to the team, "What have I just done?" I sort of blacked out in the booth for a second. What did I do?
I couldn't tell if you were trying to seduce her or were just being a dumb himbo.
I don't know either. I was just trying to get us out of this situation.
I know she might want you to knock her socks off later, Harbo. You might need to take one for the team to distract her while we get these goblins.
Take one for the team.
I got a plan D.
Plan D.
That's too fucking funny. Oh no! We've thought of it all at this point.
That's
Dragons,
right, folks. We are on.
rivers, and the ultimate
We are on 3 levels of innuendo at this point.
Plan D. I cannot believe it.
Listen, you care about these goblins, right?
I'll keep it in the
What about
back pocket.
coriander? Don't you care about coriander?
What?
Are you still messing up Koriak's name? It has
Koriak.
been almost a month. I'm just, I'll keep it in the back pocket. That is.
I'm sorry, I don't care about. I mean, they're fine. I just don't know their names. Sorry.
That's fair, I guess. No,
all
Audrey,
of
it's
us are
not.
best
Learn their
friends.
names. We're here to save them.
Well, you didn't even.
Their
I'll let,
names.
name all 30 right now, then, Haribo.
It's not the naming of them that he has troubles with, it's the
Jimbo.
recognizing them.
Zenith, Yemnik, Jerome,
Yemen and Nick are two of
Sheva,
them.
Neshra, Ebon, Atrix,
I like that you say it like you're casting a spell.
Coriander,
Paul.
Miranda. Also,
so there is a
Another
coriander.
Miranda. Oh, good.
I was right then. There is a coriander.
well, sure, but you were definitely talking about Koryak. Do you want me to
You
continue?
don't know that? No. Thank you.
I'll come up with 30 names for these goblins right now.
Don't you dare!
Don't you dare! The guards are like, stop, you have to be quiet for the rest of the trip.
Stop saying random goblin names.
Oh, man.
Okay. So, yeah, Kendra and Satchel both have hopped out of the wagon, and you guys are escorted through the streets of this town. Perception checks, certainly, to see what you observe as you wander through the town.
Haribo, lost in the absolute horror of what he has maybe just gotten himself into, got a 9.
Yeah. Thaddeus, who's feeling very surrounded and not in a happy place, got a nat 1.
Ooh.
He doesn't like
I
the
got-
walls.
I got 14.
And this is
Sparklonius
coming
is
from a
all
mountain dwarf.
eyeballs. Sparklonius has a 19.
Oh,
Thank you.
the pebbles are flying. They're
What
looking.
about Gib? Gib?
What about you?
Did you say Satchel stayed behind too?
I did.
She
Uh-oh.
didn't ask him to stay behind. That makes me nervous.
Oh no, he's gonna knock her socks off.
Oh.
I couldn't even ask her name, and he can just jump out of the cart and hang out if he wants. Like, what?
Well, she knew. Well,
He's the gray man. He does what he wants.
she addressed him first.
That's fair.
They're on
that's
the
fair.
same
It's
team.
true.
It's
That was
okay.
he was the first one that she talked to.
That's true. That's true. I did narrow my eyes. I wanted to narrow them at him, but not in that moment.
Okay. What do I do with the nat 1 is the question.
Maybe nothing.
That's no fun.
That's no fun.
Maybe if Thaddeus steps into a cave puddle and now has wet feet.
Great.
He
knows what
recognizes
was in that
someone from
puddle?
his home mountain, the blacksmith here. He dies.
that's
No,
interesting.
No, not
He
that.
dies.
No, not that. Not that.
Wait
not
a
that, not
minute.
that. I take it back. Take it back. Take it back.
That would be, I think, an unconscionable wrinkle to the narrative.
A
Yeah.
bunch of
Why?
to have a new set of captives that we have to rescue while we're here.
or
That's
maybe
it's interesting, but I don't think I can do it.
Oh,
If this
okay,
was a
see,
book, if I was writing a book or a TV show, maybe. But
my pitch may not. I mean, maybe they're not a captive. They could just be hired here. Like a good blacksmith wouldn't necessarily be a captive.
or a
But
bunch
also
of bat guano falls on him, and now he stinks like shit for the rest of the time.
now you just absolutely reek.
Awesome.
Bat guano is a very pungent smell, though. It is.
He's
Okay.
both security and base. I don't know if that's anything.
Haribo, Marjorie, what'd you get? 9
14.
and 14. Okay. Haribo, you're pretty lost in it. I gotta say, you had sort of an overwhelming interaction, and now you don't know what to think.
Long day.
Long day, I guess. Marjorie, you observe more of what's around you. The the Hobgoblin settlement is it feels like a full ass town based on your urchin senses. Like you could get up to some urchining here.
Hmm.
There are alleyways. There are whole like streets that branch off of the one that you guys are riding down. A lot of the exterior of the buildings seems to have some kind of like scaffolding on it for and the scaffolding itself is swarming with goblins. Um, there are goblins like scuttling and doing the vertical of this town as well as milling about in in the streets and alleyways. Um,
Hmm.
Sparkalonius with the 19. Is there anything specifically that you are looking out for, or
Probably like holding pens, like places where like it is clear that there are people who are lesser than are being held, or like people who are like being imprisoned, jailed, etc.
Okay. Okay. I think then I've got two things for you. The thing that you see on the way to your destination is that you pass a row of what in another town you might think of as stables, but here I think holding pens probably works better. The holding pens here are full of giant animals in various stages of being tamed. Hopefully, I think with a 19, you can definitely see like saddles and like tack for them. Whether or not they are accepting of that tack just yet, who's to say? You see, I think giant lizards, giant rodents. I think you see a couple giant bats, which are interesting. I think the other thing I will give you with the 19 is that you see fuzzy foot lines running from building to building here.
Okay.
More
of them spooters.
Give a giant bat shits on him. A huge pile of guano falls on Gib, and he reeks for the rest of this adventure.
I can't believe you took that.
He rolled
Hell
a 1.
yeah.
In some places, Gib, that's considered good luck.
I mean, he's a little guy, Cayman guy. Maybe he likes it.
No,
Modric,
I do
no
not.
one likes
No,
being
I hate it.
shit on. Well,
I
not
said
no
maybe.
one, but it's like publicly and in the cot. It's not like, yeah.
It's even privately pretty frowned on.
It's pretty, yeah, generally, but I'm not gonna like speak for everyone, Gib.
I'm not here to yuck people's yums, but also yuck.
But right now, you just got shit on by a bat, so I understand.
I wish I hadn't opened my mouth to say any of this.
Oh.
Oh, gross. Sorry, Gib.
His little vest, his double vest.
We'll get you washed off before the show.
It's hopefully reversible.
Oh, the vest. I was like, the bat shit is definitely reversible, Gib.
Nope, forever.
I sure
It's a
hope it's not
forever
permanent.
thing. You sure that's not part of it?
Experimental, man.
A feature, not a bug.
Okay. Thaddeus,
Yes.
talk to me for a second about like where you grew up. You said that you left at a fairly early age to join the army or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, talk to me a little bit about that.
So, but he spent his early formative years living in something not entirely unlike this, as though I believe the buildings within the cave structure were less rickety than they are here. But he was raised in the mountains at elevation, so caves and and in stone dwellings and all are very familiar to him from his youth. But then he did leave to go join the army because he had to find his own way because he was too chatty for most of the dwarves where he lived. But he was raised in caves on the mountain until he decided to join the Flatlanders and join the army.
When you say at elevation, I'm curious, were there moments like, what was the exterior of the cave like? Was it like on a flat facing cliff that you had to literally climb, or was it a little bit more like mountain trekking,
It
elevation
was
style?
Yeah, it was more like trekking. There was, for this particular village or town, there was sort of a plateau, and from that plateau they then carved into the mountain to build their
Cool.
city into the mountain. But there was a big plateau for outdoor events and big bonfires and celebrations and stuff.
Cool.
Okay. Formative years, so you left for the military on a human scale, what, in your late 20s?
Yeah, mid to late 20s. Yeah.
Okay.
Still young for a dwarf, but yeah.
All right. I think the thing that you see, Thaddeus, as we go by the streets, um, I think you see a smithy.
Ooh.
Yeah, and like a familiar looking smithy too, set up in the dwarven style.
Mm.
And you don't see their face, but you see a dwarf working in the smithy. His back is to you, but you feel like you recognize the emblem on emblazoned on his keep using vest as a clothing item
Tunic.
because I like vests personally, but I think in this instance, I'm going to say it's emblazoned on his overalls.
Okay.
Um,
So is this like my clan crest that I recognize, or just someone familiar?
it is a version of your clan crest. Yes, it is the specific. Um, it's the specific crest of the like temple is sort of the wrong word because it's a god of crafting more than it
Mm.
is a god of godliness.
Workshop.
Yeah, like the workshop god. But the specific one to your clan is what this fella's wearing.
Okay. Are we close enough that I could speak to him in Dwarvish?
I mean, if you want to try and call out to him, you can give it a shot.
I would. I'd call out to him and
Charisma save.
what's that?
Charisma save.
Charisma save?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me get back to my character sheet. And we will roll. That is a 18.
Hey, okay, yeah.
Yes.
What do you shout to this gentleman?
I would shout to him the traditional greeting of like "Hail, brethren," or whatever that mountain greeting was. "Hello, brother of the mountain," or something to that effect. Something that
brother of
he
the
would
mountain.
instantly recognize from home as a greeting.
Asa, dwarf.
Cool. I'm not going to. You rolled a 1 on your perception, so I'm not going to tell you whether he heard that or not.
Okay.
Can I tell if he heard that?
He did.
We share that quietly. Got him.
Thaddeus will never know. Okay. So they march you through the streets, and at some point you guys take a left, and all of a sudden you guys are now in an area of holding pens, and they march you up to a for lack of a better word, a cell, and they open the door to the cell, and they say, "Get in there. It's the visitors' quarters."
I think I should have seen this coming. It only makes sense. Maybe I whisper. Maybe we play along for now.
I don't have any other
Go,
options.
get in the go.
It's not like
In
we
the
can do
cell.
anything
way.
now. Yeah, all right, in the cell. It's not like we can do anything now.
You don't have any camels here, do you?
What's a camel?
All right, no worries then.
How many of them escorted us here?
Enough to entirely surround the wagon.
All right.
Well,
Now is not the time
we
for
fought.
acts of bravado.
I mean, yeah, no.
10?
If we put,
I'm
if we
gonna go
poke
with
the
10.
bees now, yeah. If we, even if
In
we
the
could
middle,
beat
in
up,
the heart of the mountain, probably not.
right? Yeah, even if we could
Or
beat
the
up 10
settlement or
dudes,
whatever.
yeah, that's not really much.
Oh,
In the
shoot.
cave.
Okay.
Well, beans.
You guys get in the cell. Spargalonius, I think now the second portion of your 19 comes into play.
Okay.
As you are entering the cell, you see, I think probably 3 cells down from where you guys are penned up. You see a few goblins languishing in the cell. I don't know if Haribo has talked to you about how he's recognized goblins so far, but perhaps your exposure to Koryak leads you to
we
find
talked about
their jewelry.
Oh no, don't worry. Sparkalonius is just gonna nudge Haribo, and then like with sort of his midsection, he's gonna point. It's like a little lump comes out of Sparkalonius.
And I guess
Okay,
he
well,
knows
Haribo,
because
when you
Haribo tenses.
when you see them, you know, Haribo. These are I'm going to say there are 3 of them in this cell down the way. 3 of the goblins that have.
You want to pick any one of the names? Any 3 of the names I said earlier? Is it any of them, or is it one of the
if
people
I
didn't name?
remembered them?
I know.
Ibn.
I think Ebon was one of them. No lie.
Yemanik.
Yemanik might have actually. That feels like it came out of my mouth. Okay, and hold on.
Miranda also.
Miranda also.
Miranda, I'm not using. Miranda is a character now.
Zeeth.
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 Zeeth is good. I'm gonna go with Zeeth and Ibn. Are 2 of the goblins that are over there.
Cool. I recognize them and I keep it to myself. Well, keep it to my attention.
I made the unfortunate declaration that we only took the women and children. Ibn is a lady goblin, and Zeeth is a teenager.
Oh, I'm scared of teens.
Wait a second.
This Grace, not.
What did they do with the men? I do remember
the men
this.
they sent them to the Diggins. The men they
we
used
already
for Diggins.
We already. Oh
It
no,
was a
right.
it was a division of labor thing, not a gender thing, but now I've had to live with it.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember feeling existential horror when you said that.
Yeah, no, I was like, no,
It's
I've
got to
done
be a
it.
labor thing, right? Not a breeding thing. It's a labor thing,
It's
right?
gotta be. I mean, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Though,
You can't say that. We can say that. You no. No, I'm just kidding. Fingers crossed.
It's an
He's
evil
like,
thing. It's
we'll
about
see.
evil.
based on what I've already said, it's not a breeding thing, but that's not the the explicit intention. All goblins should be part of one tribe. I think is what we have said so far.
Yes. Yes. Well,
anyways,
should we do some rehearsals in this cage?
Oh yeah,
Well,
what
yes.
do we have? What do we have with us in the cage?
all
I mean,
your
Is
stuff.
the
The whole
whole
wagon got put in, didn't it?
with Stu?
No,
Oh, where's the
no.
wagon and
Stuve and the
And
wagon are
Barson.
hanging out outside the cage. They've tied Stuve to a bar.
Barson's inside with us.
Barson's in with you guys.
Darn it, we
Stu,
should have had
come pick the
Boston hide
lock.
under the false floor of the seat.
Stuve, come pick the
We
lock.
should have taught Stuve to pick
Stu-
Barson. Have you taught Stuve
Who
to
has
do any
animal
lock-picking?
handling?
Sparklonius forms his hand into the shape of a key, and then he winks with one of his
No way.
pebbles.
I mean, I guess he could just sort of jam himself in a lock, but we shouldn't, like, if we break out
Can't he
here,
just
it's the same as fighting
sneak through
10
the
dudes.
bars?
Probably
Could we do-
also just squeeze through the bars. Yes.
Yeah, we
of
could
course
send-
I can.
Well, you could do recon. Sneak around.
The sneakiest of us.
Can you stick to walls and ceilings? Can you slam around on the ceiling where no one can look up to see you?
The ceiling of this cave?
Yeah.
Cage.
Are we in a cave?
Cage.
Wait, you used both of the syllables. Is it a cage or a cave, or is it a cage?
That's what I'm asking.
I know, but Gabe, I thought he was clarifying, and then he said cage, and I was like, no.
I mean, we're in both right now.
Yeah, I would say more cage than cave. We're not in the mountain just yet.
Oh, gotcha. I misunderstood.
I thought we walked into the cave after what Miranda dismissed Haribo.
Nah, we walked
into the
further into the
settlement.
town, but
Yeah.
the town goes for a ways before we hit mountain.
Are there
Oh,
anyone?
okay,
Is there
okay.
anyone guarding us?
There are 2 hobgoblins at the entrance to this set of pens. I think that would put them 20, 30 feet from you.
We can take action, I whisper, if we want, but I feel like Kendra and Satchel seem to be fully convinced of our... Right, there's no one... Before I continue, there's no one around us besides those 2 people, me whispering, that, like, Satchel and Kendra are gone, so it's just the team here, right?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't want to be misunderstood and fuck that all up. We seem to have them convinced, as long as, we just maybe trust them. We get to play our last show. We get further in the mountain. I still don't know about our exant, but well, hold on. Sorry, I had forgotten. And I look over, and there are a few goblins, and I say, well, if some of them are up here, and I'd nod a few cells over, maybe if we can chat with them, see what happened to the rest of the goblins?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. And Sparklonius plops his pot onto the ground, and then he becomes 1 inch tall, and he slides under the bars over to the other goblins.
Solonius.
Hey, are you folks from the Goblin Village? Don't mind me, I'm not a puddle, I'm Sparkalonius.
What? Oh,
Right
Um,
here, on the ground.
we're from a goblin village. Yeah.
Near Decrum?
Yeah. Are you from
That's
Dekram?
Well, no, I've done a tour there,
Oh,
but a lot of my compatriots behind me in the other cell are.
cool.
Harbo's
Say,
like waving.
keep it down, don't get too excited, but we are here to rescue you.
What?
Other
It's really hard not to get too excited about that.
act natural. You're talking to a puddle and all that.
Mm.
So are the rest of you out here, or did they take the rest of you deeper into the mountain?
They've got us on kitchen duties for now. While they're still sort of assessing our skills. We only got here a few days ago. Me
But all
and
of you did end up here?
yeah, all of us that they took.
All right, that's good news. All right, well,
I don't know what happened to the guys.
don't
They took
worry,
them
they're
away.
back at home. Right now,
Really?
Koryak is acting as the elder.
Where's the elder?
Oh, somewhere
Oh.
else.
What?
Yeah, they
The-
took.
Well,
they
hold
took
on,
her-
hold on. Let me take
yeah,
that
they-
one more time.
They took her too.
No, Grace.
No, it
Don't
was
worry,
in
I
the
got it. Let me
accent.
take
No,
that
it
one more
was in the
time.
accent. No, it was in the accent.
Well, the elder is back at the Goblin Village. His name is Koryak.
Oh no!
What?
He's the oldest one there.
The elderest one that they got.
Did all the other guys die? How old is Koryak? Is this-
No, we just put Koryak in charge while we. I mean, I guess we didn't put Koryak in charge.
Koryak put Koryak in charge.
Koryak put Koryak
Koryak's
in
in
charge.
charge.
It's a
Koryak
long
is in
time for
charge.
Koryak.
But we did save all the men. That's all we've done. Shocker. It started with the men. Of course we did.
Yikes.
Me months ago when that episode happened.
But yeah, so the men, they're back at the Goblin Village. They're all fine, more or less. But yeah, so we're going to pretend, well, we're a band. Maybe you heard about my performance in Decrum. But
What?
don't worry, it's not we'll get to that later. But we're going to be performing a show here coming up, so just sort of I guess continue business as usual, and when the time is right, we will we're going to skedaddle.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you've got more of a plan than just that. But
Oh yes, I too hope we've got more of a plan than that.
no.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and slither back into our cage.
Okay.
You be good. All right. Sparklonia slithers back into the cage. All right, so it does seem like all of the goblins from the village are here, in this town, not deeper in the cave, in the mountains. But yeah, I mean,
That's
there's no
great
but really.
news.
That's good news.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It means we don't have to
news.
go deeper in the cage. We just
No.
gotta figure it out here.
And if you saw all the pins on the way in, I mean, the goblins are as good with animals as we are. If they are training all these larger animals to act with saddles, I'm curious if we can just safety word, or I don't know, safety word. What's the signal word, and
Safety
get
word.
get the goblins moving. We can set that up. Once
That's
we're ready,
plan.
but-
Safety words are involved in Plan D, Harbo.
Well, honestly, we may not need Plan D anymore. Although it may help if we're talking about playing distraction.
Yep.
Ew.
I didn't come up with this in the first place. I've just
It's
panicked. It was all panic. She was very imposing.
Is that what you're
She
into?
sure
We know it's time.
seems like it.
It's at least what I was nervous about in that moment.
I was nervous about a strong, hot lady telling me things.
Telling me what to do. Anyway.
Okay. I think since we have a moment here, I do want to deal with one more thing that I should have dealt with at the top of the episode and then got lost in the sauce of some good theater and forgot. And that is the fact that you haven't dealt with your latest nodie. The one that sort of kicked it all off.
Oh.
You know what? Haribo is probably thrown for a loop. That makes sense. But maybe if, he's scrolling now, just pressed up against the wall.
Yeah, no, I think you also got lost in it last night, and you're now in the cell and you're looking at your belt and you see that it still has its nodie symbol going. Because there's still the nodie that you received yesterday.
I guess as things devolve down, I'll go and lean up against one of the doors of the cell, or the walls of the cell, and throw my goggles on real quick just to review this final nodie that kicked things off that I forgot to review.
Actually, now as I'm thinking about it, we may have actually already covered it in the last episode. Because I recall hearing myself talk about the spectrograph image that moves.
Oh, of magic. Oh, no, but I started analyzing it last episode. Yeah, I hit go on the analysis and then checked nodies.
Yes. Okay.
So instead, the nodie now is analysis complete. So I don't know if that's,
I think analysis complete is probably I'll go with that. Based on what I'm thinking about for other nodies, I think that's fine. The belt pings you for its analysis complete. You go and you sit in a corner and you put your goggles on to see the visual display of this analysis. And what it tells you is that it has identified within this energy signature trace aspects of an element that it has never seen before. And as it is putting together the sort of the outline of this element based on the information that it's gotten in, it posits for you an atomic structure. But then again, unlike all other atomic structures that you've ever seen, this one it continues to be in motion. It seems like the way that the atoms are connected forms almost a perpetual motion machine, almost, that like the way that they are connected creates inertia that makes the structure continue to be in flux. Does that track?
Yeah, yeah, it sure does. It sure
Okay.
does. To Haribo, at least, I think. To me, yes, yeah.
Just as a time check, we've got about 15 minutes before
Yeah,
I
certainly.
get real sleepy.
No, I have definitely been watching the time. Got to do this, and then I've got, I think, one other thing on my plate before the episode ends. So if anyone else has things that they want to accomplish or to try and accomplish, please let me know. But also, the I think the next bit of analysis, because like the belt says we've analyzed the structure of this energy. I think the next pop up that it gives you is sort of an indication to apply analysis. And I think what that indicates is that the belt wants to take what it is learning and apply it to its own functions.
Haribo is going to hit the no button at the moment. And
That's interesting.
Like, not like, I don't know, like, responds that, like, I don't know, wait for, I guess, like, his approval. Like, he'll click that on when he needs to do some more research before it's time to ingrain it into the function. He has some thoughts on this and some breakdown to do, but he's going to hold off on that for a moment because he doesn't know what that will do. He likes to be a little bit more sure.
Oh yeah, I look forward to discussing that with you off podcast.
Little safety red button on the side for now, or I don't know if it's a safety, but you know.
Okay. Anyone else have things that they want to do?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay. Okay. Then I've got 2 more cards to play. And we're gonna call it a night. First thing that happens, a troop of hobgoblin spearmen come into the set of pens. And they form up in front of the door and they say, "The one who spoke to Miranda, you have been summoned."
God damn it.
Time for Plan D.
Tom.
Yay!
I look back at my team and I give them a thumbs up and I say, time for Plan D, I guess.
I throw some electrolytes to.
Fuck a Gatorade. Throw me a prime energy drink.
Don't throw him a prime energy drink.
Can I
Prime is
cast like
disgusting. Anyway,
cast
throw me a
Throw him a
Gatorade.
lunchly.
Oh wait, you have a spell for me, Marjorie?
Oh yeah, no. If you've got a spell cast on him.
Well, I'm saying, like, is there one? I'm trying to think of like if I don't know if any of my healing spells can give you a little.
Real quick. I mean, if you can give him if anyone can give him a buff before he leaves.
Let's see. I'm looking at my spell.
Useful.
Bardic inspiration. You know, I'll play him a little dick tune.
Yeah, maybe that might be better than.
Honestly, that's probably good, especially because my belt is like trying to parse that specific magic right now. That'll be good for my belt. Little dick tune.
What's a good?
Thanks.
Wee wee wah wah.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a good dick tune.
Yeah, it should have been more like
Um,
down chicken wow wow.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say
it's a
that
little
sounds
dick
like
tune.
no,
that
it's a
sounds
little
like
dick tune.
Oh,
oh, we learned something new about Haribo.
Haribo walks
What is
out
Haribo's greatest weakness?
running.
Oh, performance anxiety.
Performance anxiety.
Look,
That's funny.
okay. So the Haribo leaves the cell. The hobgoblins form up around him and they march him away into the next episode.
Nah,
Into the next episode.
And we never
Bye,
saw
guys.
you're all
Haribo
done
again.
here.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
And night falls, and you guys spend a night in the cell. However, at some point during the night, a note is slid into the bars of the cell. A note bearing the crest of Thaddeus's clan,
ah.
What does it say?
and that's the end of the episode.
No.
That's so cool.
Love it. Looking forward to it.
Dang.
Gotta bring it all together.
Plan D.
Plan D.
Yeah, guess what the name of this episode is
Yeah,
probably going to be.
that's the moment that it was said. I was like, "Yep, that was it. That was found
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude,
So
I
good.
A Satchel Full of Problems, by the way, was such a funny title.
Great
for
episode title.
Last episode.
I forgot to rename it this time before I hit go, but that's okay. I can just rename this one. Will be Plan D. We know that. So good.
Oh, GG's game.
Progress.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Oh
fun
my
one.
god, and we don't have to go into the mountain. Oh,
Hope not.
Not yet.
not
Hopefully
yet.
not. Hope we won't have
Right,
to go into the mountain. And I have to come up with the next scene now.
The
What
culmination.
happens next, God?
Yeah.
No, we gotta start the Miranda ship.
I know. Now I'm confused.
Miranda or Minerva, now they both actually exist. And also there's Miranda also, but you won't confuse her with anyone. She's Miranda
No,
also.
there's no Miranda also ship.
No, she's just there. She's just an also.
She's a
Maybe
goblin.
we ship Miranda also with Koryak.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's Koryak's sweet thing.
Me and Koryak can talk over our relationships with Miranda's. And...
Very different.
Very different relations from Miranda's.
I don't know how this is gonna go. Haribo is nervous.
Me neither yet.
I know. Am I just gonna listen to a romance
don't
scene
go there.
between
Don't,
M?
no.
I said
Record it.
romance.
You know,
I said
we could record it in
romance.
our own time. It depends.
Oh my gosh.
Take her on a date.
I don't want to.
She's taking me on a date, Grace. I have no
That's
choice
true.
in the matter. I'm being pulled from a cage. Thank you.
Ideal.
All right,
date
Cage Boy, it's time for your
situation.
All
date.
right, cage boy, date time.
All right.
So does that in some way make this a cage match?
Oh God.
The one kind of cage. I mean, I don't know if Thaddeus has a lot of practice.
2 enter, but 2 also leave.
2 enter and both leave satisfied.
Both leave differently.
Maybe one enters. Sorry.
Wah, wah.
GG's, everybody. I'm so sleepy.
Good
Yeah,
game.
great.
Yeah, for
good app.
sure. Good
Good
game,
app.
everybody.
Bye.
See you guys next time.
All right. See ya.
Absolutely.
Everyone else, good game. We will talk to you in the coming weeks. That was a good episode. Very pleased.